Okay, let me go to Facebook and share it away, and then we can start. Okay, perfect. I was planning to talk in Spanish because we started this interview in Spanish, which it's amazing. So, hello, welcome. We are live. I am Carol Soto. I am a healer, spiritual teacher, and the co-owner of Love, Healing, and More. I've been bringing you Meet Me Mondays, and today I have a beautiful special guest with me. I have Fernando, or if I would like to say this in Spanish, Fernando Marengo Rodriguez. He graduated as electrical engineer in 2005, and he did a doctor engineer in 2008. He also worked as a scientific research professor at the University of Engineering for companies in the US. However, Fernando felt a powerful calling to serve others. And that's why he started his own self journey for healing in 2015, where he discovered his natural talents. And this is all about bringing all the knowledge and the information from his past life. In just 5 years, he healed and started coaching. And he has coached over 500 spiritual seekers and therapists from around the world, 26 countries. So, hello and welcome, Fernando.
Hello, Carol. Thank you very much for this wonderful space here, and hi everyone for watching this, who are watching this video.
Beautiful. Okay, so I know I have shared your bio, but what do you would like the listener to know about you?
Well, we all have to know that we are here for a very powerful reason. And as I was raised, I was born in Buenos Aires and I was raised in Salta, the north of Argentina. And society is very beautiful there. But the circle of people who were around me at that moment in my childhood, many of them were quite disencouraging. And I grew up thinking that there would be something else, but I didn't feel already capable enough or good in the difference in the world. And well, I grew up thinking that, oh yes,
Fernando, it's freezing a little bit. Let's give him a little bit to see if we can increase.
and I succeeded. I got the electronic engineering degree, and I started to realize that there was something really good inside of me at that moment, inside my mind, because that's a very, very difficult career. And I was the only one who finished the subjects, the disciplines in just 5 years, as it is stated already in the curriculum of the career. So I finished that and I said, okay, wonderful. I finished this career. Then we studied a doctoral engineering degree, and I did that in just 2 years and a half in record time with a very high GPA, 9.25. And then I worked as a researcher and professor at the university. But there was something else inside of me that was saying, there's something else, there's something else, there's something else. And this is what happens. This is the crisis of the 40s, right? I was having the crisis of the 20s or the 30s. And finally, when I came here to Brazil in 2012, I finally got to know, after 2 decades searching, I finally met my spiritual teacher who honors the ancient practices. And that resonated so much with me. And I always identify myself with indigenous wisdom, although it is already, people do not used to give credit, especially in the part of Argentina where I was raised, and in many parts here in South America, people, they don't give credit to that until I found a spiritual teacher that honors that ancient wisdom and indigenous roots. And I say, wow, that is extremely powerful because of the results I've already seen with some acquaintances and friends of mine. I've seen their transformation, and I say, oh yes, I also want that transformation for me. And I started to dive deep into this self-knowledge wisdom that allowed me not only to heal myself, but also to find finally the meaning of life. And this is why people are getting affected by the collective fear, by depression, by anxiety, by stress, because they're not connected with their source of happiness. And I finally got into connection with that, with the source of happiness. And happiness is not just about relationships. It's about how we feel and how we decide to feel and how we deal with our emotions. So I found that extremely important. And in one of these journeys, I finally got into an experience in which I connected with past versions of myself, and it matched exactly what other 2 wise people already had told me. They had told me, oh yes, you were like this, and you did this kind of work, and you were helping all these kind of people. Those 2 people who didn't know that they were talking to me, they said exactly the same. And I then saw that exact same information in that own experience. And when that happened, I said, okay, there's nowhere to hide. I will not hide anymore. I will decide to shine. And I decided to awaken that hidden part within. And that's why I was fortunate enough to awaken my natural gift, my inner gift, my natural talent that was inherited from past lives. Someone told me, you have to be bold enough to give credit to yourself. And I said, am I good enough? They say, you have no idea what you are capable of. And I said, that sounds weird. Okay, I will believe what those people say. And I had a dream with my spiritual teacher. He said, you are here for great things. And I say, okay, I will believe in him. So that's quite opposite to what I used to live when I was a child, where people used to say, yes, you're not going to be anyone important here. And my teacher told me, you're here to do very, very important things in this life. So I decided to keep moving in this spiritual awakening process. And I finally was fortunate enough to awaken these natural talents, and then started as a coach and to become a coach, and then started to work as a coach and also a healer. For instance, one of these people that I'm talking now, because it's been her birthday a few days ago, she was already in a wheelchair, and we just did a ceremony 2.5 years ago we did a ceremony in a 10-minute call, and I said her, okay, we'll just do a ritual, a small ritual. We did a ritual using this condor feather. We use this ritual with a condor feather with some prayers that I used to just flow. I let it flow. I also use some stones that you can see here. I use colorful stones. And after that prayer, that person said, okay, wait a little bit, I feel better. And she stood up from her wheelchair and she started to walk. And then she started to walk downstairs in her house, and she said, I can't believe it. I was in a wheelchair. Now, thanks to your help, I'm just able to walk again. That doctors were not able to help me. And I say, welcome. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. And this was due to a natural gift that I was fortunate enough to awaken in me. And all of us have inherited something extraordinary from the past. I was fortunate enough to discover that, and I was bold enough to go after that. I invite everyone here to go after that, because once we do that, everything becomes so much easier, so faster, so much enjoyable. And then after years of helping other people, I've been working now almost 5 years as a coach and for spiritual seekers and for healers and therapists, and also working as a healer. Finally, I got in contact with the engineering side, because people are going to say, oh, you study engineering, you became a professor, a researcher, what are you going to do with that? And I said, let's find out. So I remember an experience in which I worked with biofeedback devices. I mean, devices that gives information to the computer or to an external host, computer or the cell phone, laptop, whatever. And that device gives us, in a visual or auditory information of what is happening to a physiological event that we are already having at that moment. And according to that, the user is able to make corrections on the fly, to do some corrections on the fly. And that's how biofeedback devices work. I discovered the biofeedback device and I say, oh, these devices are very, very powerful and they help a lot of people. And then I say, how about combining engineering sciences and helping other people in one project? That's what I decided to do. And this is what we have here. And this is my mission. This is our ENSA biofeedback device. And this connects through a plug to an ear clip here. And it detects the heart frequency, the heart rate that varies along with time. And inside that information, there are many parameters. One of them is the state of peace encoded in the heart rate, because according to our breathing pattern, the heart rate can go up smoothly and down smoothly, very, very, very smoothly. And when that happens, there is a breath frequency that maximizes our state of peace, and that is called the resonance frequency. When we inhale, the heart rate increases, and when we exhale, the heart rate decreases. And if we perform that on a consistent basis, with a training of just 4 weeks, people overcome stress, anxiety, depression. There was even a story of a client of mine that did this training for 4 weeks. She was not able to go out of her house because she was suffering from anxiety attacks. And I said, okay, let's come here and we'll do the training together. She said, okay, let's do that. She did the training, she did the homeworks during the sessions, between the sessions. And 4 weeks after that, she said, you know what, Fernando? I fell in love with life. I am so, so, so happy to say this. Now I will send you some photos of the boats I'm taking to travel to other parts of the world. She was not able to leave her house because of anxiety attacks. And due to this training, because we created not only the device and the game, but also we merged this with ancient tools to make it more powerful. Thanks to this system, that person is already able, in just 4 weeks, to travel around the world. So this is how powerful the transformation is. That's why this is my mission, because this is a combination of profession, a skill I learned in this life, with natural talents and gifts that were given to me from past lives. And this is what I invite everyone to do their inner work, to find their self-worth, to find their connect with their not only skills, but also natural talents, something that they know they are very, very good at, and to create a project out of that. Because once we do that, extraordinary things will happen.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. So I love that you tap into your past life to bring your experience, to bring your talents and your gift, being sharing with us that we are multidimensional beings, and this is not our first rodeo here on Earth. We have many, many, many lives, especially if you are considering yourself an all soul, or even if you feel deep down that you are all soul, right? So I feel that it's amazing that you can bring all that gift and talent. But for me, it's more amazing is that you use your currently information, being an engineer, you grew up your past wisdom, and then now you're transforming people's life so they can be living their happiest life. So I think that's beautiful. And I know you have been sharing with us a few advice, but anything else that you would like to share with the listener about if they're starting their healing journey, if they're starting their awakening, what will be those advice that you share with us today?
Thank you very much for this important question, Carol. The first thing is to heal, because I see so many people trying to get to a new level of awareness.
Okay, just share with me a little bit.
Okay.
Froze. There you go. You are back. Sorry,
Okay.
you were frozen.
Okay. Is that okay now?
It's good now.
Okay. So according to my own experience and to those people that worked with me, something that works very, very well is to identify very, very, very clear which is the pattern that was ruling us up to now, that has been ruling us up to now. Did we try to please others? Are we trying to please others? Are we trying to live according to other people's expectations, or maybe to our parents' expectations, or things like that? So the first thing is to heal our own wounds, because that's a first step, and that is a mandatory step. If we don't do that, everything else becomes so difficult and so much contaminated by fears and traumas and all that. So first, heal ourselves and heal our relationship with our ancestors. That's the first thing, because if we have problems with our mother and or our feminine ancestors, it affects us in our happiness, and also it may create fear of rejection, right? And that's what I've seen in so many people so far. And for other people who have relationships, their problem with their father or their father's father or any of the masculine ancestors, they affect
We are in Mercury retrograde, so electronic is going to be funny for us. But Fernando.
So the first thing is to heal our own heart. Once we heal, that's when the first in many quantum leap takes place, because people realize about so many things. They realize that being happy is just a decision. It's not something that happens from the outside to us. It's how we decide to feel, how we decide to take decisions. So of course the environment is something that it may affect us more or less, but how we react to the environment, it's our own decision. As adults, we have the responsibility, I mean, we respond to the life that we decide to build. So some people, they have the inner child wound that is, oh yes, I was too affected as a child and I didn't heal my child enough, and I was so, let's say, I was bullied as a child or things like that. If people are too affected by that, they won't take action with full responsibility. They will blame others, for instance. They will say, oh, that's his fault because of the politician, because of this political party, because of the economical situation, and things like that. The other thing is that we take action from, if we don't have our inner child already healed, we may take a judgment, we may judge others according to our own, how do we say, our own stagnancy, and because of our stagnancy we blame others. So people who blame others, they're just in their comfort zone, because it's easier to say that others have the fault and not ourselves. So the first thing is to build self-responsibility, create personal power with self-respect, respecting ourselves, and then build self-love, love ourselves, respect our own decisions, and take decisions that honors what we truly feel we want from our heart. And after that, it comes love to others. So that's the order: self-respect, self-love, and then love to others. Of course, there are many other ingredients in this regard in the awakening process, or maybe those who don't feel at home in this life. Even there are some people who are so lonely, and they are so pure in their intentions that they feel that this is, and we have to be smart enough to take the wisest decisions to get adapted to this world and honoring our higher self. Because I already see that so many people, they want even to they want even to commit suicide because my decision is to build this kind of devices and to spread all over the world, to build home here. Instead of saying I will leave because I want to go home, I say I want to build home here. That's why this is my mission, because I decide to build an extraordinary life here in this life. And once I accomplish my mission, I will say, thank you very much. Now I can liberate myself from the samsara.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I am a big proponent of it starts with you. You cannot give what you don't have. If you want to heal others, you need to heal yourself. If you want to bring love to the world, you have to love yourself. If you want to bring people feel enough, feel worthy, feel abundance, you have to feel that you have to start with you. So 100% with you with that. Nothing starts outside of us, and you cannot give what you don't have.
Simple as it sounds, because that's why we see so many fake people, because they don't identify their own uniqueness and their own light. And for that reason, they borrow other people's light. But you know that because you feel when someone is already speaking from their own position, or if they're already acting like a fake, because we can all feel that. Later or sooner, the truth comes to the surface, and you will find out that. That's why those people who are actually shining in this world are not only those who honor their own light, but also those who get adapted to this system in a smart way. Because according to my mentor, one of my mentor, Lexim, he said, in these people, in order to thrive, you don't need to be intelligent. You don't need to be extremely wealthy. Even people who are wealthy wealthy and period, they don't thrive here. Those who thrive here are people who are smart. And those who are smart, they get adapted to the system, and they get to know the shortcuts, the right shortcuts, to get to the desired outcome faster. And they can even build empires. And according to this information of the shortcuts, I remember the experience I had when I was in the university. And when I was in first year of engineering, I was introduced to another student that was 2 years ahead of me. And I said, Gabriel is his name. I say, Gabriel, is it fine with you if I have a phone call with you, a short phone call with you before each semester to know for the new subjects, which of the new professors are more convenient for me? He said, yes, sure, you can call me. And I did so. For when I was about to start the new subject, I called Gabriel and say, hey, Gabriel, how are you? I'm just going to do this and this and this and this subject. Which of the professors do you recommend? Oh, you can go with this and this and this and avoid this and this one. That's all you have to do. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful semester. You too. Bye. And I did so. That's why I got the shortcuts, and I was the only one who finished the university at the 5 years, because I was mentored by the right guy. And this is what worked for me, for those people who have mentored me. And I also, of course, I mentor other people in order to get the shortcuts. We don't have to suffer. We just have to be smart enough to take the right decision to go with another person that has already overcome that problem that you're facing.
Beautiful. Agree 100% with you. And that's the reason why we don't have to walk this path by ourselves. There is people in the spiritual world that can help us mentor and coach. You have people in the physical world that they already walked that path, and you can be mentor. It's all about aligning yourself with the person that resonates with you, because it's not like just, oh, let me get the shortcut so I can get there faster. Well, no, there is a process, but it's about aligning yourself with those right decisions that serve your highest good, but also aligning yourself with those people that it can help you thrive and get there in a spiritual and in a physical way, both of them.
Exactly, because even those people in general terms, this is what happens. I see so many people who are interested in spiritual awakening and all of that, but they forget about building a life with an economical position that is reasonably good, right? I see so many people focusing too much on the spiritual, and you tell them, okay, you have to build this website, you have to do this thing and buy this other stuff in order to to start holding a retreat. Oh, I don't have the money for this. I don't have money for that. I don't have money for that. If you don't have money in this modern world, you cannot thrive in the system. Simple as it sounds. So the first thing that comes into play is clean your house. I mean, clean all your limiting beliefs about I'm not good enough or things like that. Clean your physical house so that it is in order already. When we clean physically our house, when we declutter the things that we have in our house, then we feel with so much clarity that we can take better decisions. And it affects in a positive way our prosperity, right? So I see too many people who are interested in the spiritual stuff, but then don't have even $5 or $20 to buy something that will start to transform their lives. So we all have to have a very, very good physical health, emotional balance through heart coherence, for instance, with this device is crucial. In 4 weeks, people can already transform their lives. This is absolutely crazy. And not even HeartMath is able to do that. And HeartMath is the first worldwide supplier of biofeedback devices for heart coherence. We are the only one who can do that. So we are the best in the world that you can find in the market regarding this kind of stuff. Physical strength, emotional balance, mental clarity, to have the right discernment to detect which thought is yours and which thought is not yours and is from the collective, from your parents, from your ancestors, from your friends, your family, from the collective. And then finally, with the spiritual connection. We all have to have these four parts already well developed. Otherwise, things will come extremely more difficult. What happens to other people on the other side? They become, I'm talking already to other people who are extremely wealthy, they make millions. And I even worked with one of them. She said, yes, I'm interested in spiritual stuff, but I still need to solve this thing, because she was already with a good knowledge that she was already becoming very wealthy. And she said, what about this other, the relationship side? Oh, that's what I have a challenge. Okay, wonderful. What do you want to do? She said, I want to work on that. Okay, but take into consideration the following. You cannot want something new if you don't discard something old. So we have to do that inner work, and she decided, fortunately, to take the right decisions, to discard what was no longer useful for her. We closed the cycle of that old pattern she was having. She released and she let go of that. And then we open energetically a new cycle. And that's how she is already living a very happy and very thrilling life, because she's now shining thanks to this work. This is an example of another part, right? There are spiritual people who are not financially in a very good position, and there are also people who are financially extraordinarily well, and with other parts of relationships or mental clarity or spiritual connection that is not good. And she decided to work on this. And thanks to this decision to work, in this case with me, she made her own transformation. So yes, it's always possible to do transformation. It's just about the decision.
Making the choice to walk that healing path and bring healing to yourself, but whatever comes, right? Because sometimes it's pattern, sometimes it's habit, sometimes it's feelings, sometimes it's illness, because we let it go all the way up until we are ill. Sometimes it's belief, sometimes it's programming, and like you said, we have to shed and clear and heal and let go so you can bring the new. Because you have to make the space. If not, you don't have the space to bring it. So you got to make the space and then bring that you want to manifest. And that's the thing that it's like, it drives me insane about manifesting because it's not instant manifesting. Yes, you can create instant
Exactly.
manifestation, a parking lot, right? Or like a little cash, but it's about making the room so you can manifest that cool life that you want so much. And yes, heaven can be here in earth. And yes, earth can feel home, but you got to do the work. It is not a race to go to the finish line. It is about each event that you receive. What's the lessons? What's the growth? What can I let go because it's not serving my highest good? And what I can bring in because it will serve my highest good. That's what you're trying to say. Oh, you froze again.
Yes, and yes. Sorry, I heard the silence, and I just wanted to add this little thing. It is extremely important that, for instance, I have work with me on in just one session, only one session, enough to make a shift in order to close the old cycle and open a new. How do we close the cycle? For instance, the cycle of I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of too much confusion, or I'm tired of being disconnected from my higher self. For instance, I'm tired of not having purpose in this life. How do we close the cycle? We just have to acknowledge the achievements that we had in this cycle, the challenges that we faced so far. Those challenges, they give us lessons. So we write down the lessons that we learned from these challenges. And finally, we practice gratitude for the lessons and for the achievements, especially. If we don't practice gratitude for the lessons, then it means we didn't receive the lessons. When we say thank you, we accept what we receive. We accept with grace. If we don't accept the lessons, we will have to go through those situations over and over again until we learn the lesson. That's why I always have to say, thank you for the lesson. And after we say and feel, express that feeling of gratitude for the lessons, then the cycle is already closed successfully, and then we can open a new one, a cycle of spiritual connection, a cycle of very good communication, a cycle of mental discernment, a cycle of emotional balance, or a cycle of already abundance in our life.
Beautiful. So true. So true. Well, Fernando, it was amazing having you and bringing your wisdom to Meet Me Monday. I am honored and so grateful for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you would like people to reach out, how can they find you?
Well, they can find me at on Facebook, on social media, as my name, Fernando Marengo Rodriguez. I'm also on Instagram as PhD Fernando Coach. And also, my email is fmarengorodriguez@gmail.com. And also, if it is possible, I would like to offer a very, very special gift for the first 3 people who watch this video and send me a private message, that I will offer a 5 minutes connection with your higher self through heart coherence, with this drumming and with this unique technique that is the most powerful in the world.
Thank you so much, Fernando. I'm grateful. So there you go. You have Fernando and sharing with him his gift. Thank you for so much for joining and being here with us. Next Tuesday, we are going to have a mystical moment, and we're going to be talking about altars. So stay tuned for more information. This is Carol Soto, and I am so grateful for have all of you. Much love. Until next time.
Thank you very much. Take care.